I remember Grandpa sitting on the porch with a coffee cup, talking about the Reds and how they'd never give it up. He said, son, they won't come with tanks or flying flags so bold. They'll sneak in through the colleges and turn the young hearts cold. I laughed and called him crazy, said those days were done. But Grandpa looked me dead in the eye and said, boy, it's just begun. It ain't just talk no more, it's happening right now. The slow takeover is walking through the town. They smile and call it justice, they march and call it peace. But Grandpa warned us, Lord, and the warning never ceased. I remember Grandpa sitting on the porch with a coffee cup, talking about the Reds and how they'd never give it up. He said, son, they won't come with tanks or flying flags so bold. They'll sneak in through the colleges and turn the young hearts cold. I laughed and called him crazy, said those days were done. But Grandpa looked me dead in the eye and said, boy, it's just begun. It ain't just talk no more, it's happening right now. The slow takeover is walking through the town. They smile and call it justice, they march and call it peace. But Grandpa warned us, Lord, and the warning never ceased. How the Communist Party USA's out passing out their signs. Party for socialism and liberation's right there in the line. Freedom Road socialist organizations funding every bus. Revolutionary Communist Party stirring up the fuss. Revolutionary Communists of America running with the crowd, all coordinated, organized, and screaming extra loud. They're behind these No Kings rallies from coast to shining coast, paying for the buses, printing signs and posting every post, while the blue-haired kids are yelling and the beta boys applaud. The real bosses in the back are laughing hard. They hate this country's freedom, they hate the stars and stripes, but they love the megaphone and all the camera lights. They'll call you every name if you dare to push back, say you're a fascist for flying the American flag. They cheer for Maduro, they cheer for the mullahs too. Love every tyrant as long as he hates me and you. While red states keep on working and paying all the bills, blue states keep on spending and wonder why they're ill. It ain't just talk no more, it's happening right now. The slow takeover is walking through the town. They cheer for Maduro, they cheer for the mullahs too. Love every tyrant as long as he hates me and you. While red states keep on working and paying all the bills, blue states keep on spending and wonder why they're ill. It ain't just talk no more, it's happening right now. The slow takeover is walking through this town. They smile can't fall asleep. Yeah, Grandpa warned us. Lord, I hope we finally hear him now.
All right, here we go. Hello, everybody. Man, I am tired tonight, but I am here and I am in full service. So let's see what we got going on tonight. I just want to bring everybody right up to date on Daddy Kitty. He's still here. Last night, I was fairly convinced that today would be the day. And right after the show last night, I bought these chicken soup packets for cats that are kind of sick or whatever. And he had been eating those, and he didn't eat at all that day. And so right before I went to bed, after I shut the show down, after actually the show shut itself down last night, I opened one of those packets and put it in a bowl, and he ate the whole thing. I put another one in there. He ate most of that. And he got up and went to the bathroom and laid back down in the bed. And I'm like, well, that's it, buddy. You just at least earned another day. I mean, as long as he's, like I always say, peeing, pooping, eating, drinking, walking, if he's doing those 5 things, then he's still here. Unless he shows signs of pain, which he's not. So anyway, there we go. He's still here tonight. He's over laying on my bed right now, and he seems to be okay. Guys, I don't think we're going to get a recovery here. I mean, I don't. I don't put viable cats down unless they're in pain. And he's not showing any signs of pain, and he's still viable. So I'll give him the benefit of the doubt up until the point that he can no longer stand and walk, and he's no longer eating and things like that. Then, yes, he goes right down. Oh, is the UFO podcast going on? Lots of bickering, huh? Uh-oh. I love good discourse. Oh, okay, I'll check that, Victor. I'll see if I can find anything on that. All right, well, welcome, everybody. And I'm here tonight with Ed Earl. Mama, I haven't seen Mama all day. I know she's probably okay. She does this. But I haven't seen her all day, so I hope she'll come wandering up this evening. There's a lot of my whole property here. The cats go all over the place, and so they're pretty good about staying in the yard, actually. There's dogs outside the yard sometimes, and so they've all kind of learned to just stay in the yard. Anyway, this is the Sights and Sounds of Earth on StarShip Adventures, broadcasting worldwide on YouTube. My name's Ian. I'm glad to be your host tonight and every night here, 7 nights a week at 9 p.m. Eastern, right here on StarShip Adventures. And I'm really happy everybody made it tonight. We're going to try to make it fun here. Not a huge news day, but there's some stuff going on. Look at that volcano, guys. It just blew up. This is 2 different views. The one's pretty obscure, but you can still see stuff going on. Look at that. Wow. That is Fuego in Guatemala, and she's pissed. She's pissed. And so these views are 30 seconds or so apart, and they're 2 different angles, but they're almost the same angle, so it is what it is. It's what we have. Hey, Rob Vig, what's going on? Blue Texan, hello, good evening. Matt, Dom, a lot of my regulars in tonight. Jungle Jordy, thank you guys all for being here. Victor, of course, one of my first supporters out there. And Kat, thank you for being here. And looks like Canna Club's hanging out, and a few others. Thank you, everybody, for being here. If I missed you, I'm sorry. I'm glad everybody's here tonight. Okay. We're still waiting to hear what's going to go on in Iran. And I got to tell you guys, in Iran, I'm done with these people. President Trump is the opposite of what you would see in a lot of politicians. He doesn't want war. It's pretty obvious. He's brought more peace in his 5.5 years as president than nearly any other leader we've ever had. We've seen all kinds of instances of that, and so he doesn't want to bury these people under desert sand or glass bowl or any of that kind of stuff. So, hey, there we go. Let's see. Victor sent one Starship membership gift to somebody. Who got it? Uh-oh. There we go. Kristen, you just received a free gift membership from Victor. Victor's been one of my longtime loyal viewers and members and supporters here of the channel. So thank you, Victor, for that. And welcome aboard, Kristen. Pick up your uniforms and we'll meet you in the mess hall. All right, so there we go. Oh, let's see. So what are we going to do? I don't know. I think we're just about to the fact where we're just going to wake up one day and that place is going to be just leveled. I don't know what else to do. But Donald Trump says claims that the deal to open the Strait of Hormuz is imminent. Iran officials have denied participation in direct talks with the U.S., saying Monday that they are negotiating with mediators in Oman. The Libra flag cargo ship, a Libra flag cargo ship, became the fourth vessel since Friday to be attacked in the Strait of Hormuz, forcing the crew to abandon the ship. One ship was on fire at last word. This is a bunch of shit. Okay, but we got to end this thing. It's going to end up messing up the midterms. Very, very worried about that, and I really just wish that we could go ahead and just stop, get this over with, finish it up. Whatever you got to do, just level the shit. I don't care. And I'm not a pro-war guy normally. I mean, even the war in Iraq, I was not much on. I felt that we didn't need that. I'm not a warmonger. Some people assume that if you're on the left, you're automatically a warmonger, or on the right, you're automatically a warmonger. No, it's not. It's not a party thing. It's not a thing with me other than, is it absolutely necessary? And with Iran, in this particular case, I think it was, but I don't like how it's coming out. Yes, speak softly and carry a huge stick. I agree. All right, so what's going on? I talked to you guys a little bit about the historian last night in the Smithsonian. Oh, I read you guys the timeline last night also of the investigation that's going on with the Smithsonian. I think it's so important. We have to fix this. We have to fix this. It just has to be. Looks like another attempt on Donald Trump's life may have been thwarted. A man arrested at Trump's golf course ahead of President Trump's visit had a weapon cache with him on the property. Janine John Teal of Downey allegedly had hollow point ammunition in his pocket when he was detained. A California man was arrested Sunday at Trump National Golf Course in Rancho Palos Verde after allegedly monitoring security planning activities days before the president's visit, and was later found with a cache of weapons and body armor, according to authorities. Janine John Teal, 38, of Downey, pleaded not guilty Tuesday to 4 criminal charges stemming from his arrest outside the golf course just a few days ago. Trump arrived there late Tuesday for a Republican National Committee fundraiser. The Los Angeles County judge set Teal's bail at $250,000, ordered him not to possess any weapons, barred him. What? So he showed up with a bunch of weapons to a place where the president's about to be, and okay, and they're going to let him out on a bond. Okay, there we go. Gotta love California, Los Angeles. Los Angeles, the city of cowards and pushovers. His next court appearance is scheduled for August 26, where he's expected to probably just get a slap on the wrist, I'm sure. According to the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department, the investigation began on Sunday when plainclothes federal agents spotted Teal walking on the grounds of Trump National Golf Course while taking photographs and videos and appearing to monitor security planning activities. Deputies from the Lomita Sheriff's Department station responded at 3:30 p.m. and contacted Teal. During the pat-down, deputies allegedly recovered a 16-round magazine loaded with hollow point ammunition. Authorities then searched the vehicle, which was parked on the golf course parking lot. They recovered a loaded pistol with one in the chamber, another loaded magazine containing hollow points. Teal was initially arrested on suspicion of carrying a concealed weapon. What he was probably doing was scoping things out, and he was going to leave those magazines in select locations. That could have been what he was doing. This discovery prompted detectives with the Sheriff's Department Major Crimes Bureau assigned to the FBI Joint Terrorism Task Force to obtain a search warrant for Teal Downey's home. Investigators said they recovered an illegally modified AR platform rifle, a 1911 .45 caliber pistol, an AR platform upper receiver, body armor, high-capacity magazines, bulk pistol and rifle ammunition, 2 radio signal devices, multiple notebooks containing what authorities describe as concerning statements. And by the way, you're seeing what looks like lightning in Fuego. Yes, it could be one of about 3 or 4 things. It could be a light anomaly with the camera. It could be electrical flashes. I'm not sure, but it also could be a nearby thunderstorm. However, there's another possibility. During a volcanic eruption, the moving material in the air creates electrostatic energy, and believe it or not, yes, the smoke and particulate that comes off the top of a volcano supports lightning, and it will actually create its own lightning, and it is really a cool phenomenon, guys. A really cool one. All right, so there's another one. That's another one there. A guy was trying to get all set up there and figure out how to do it. They're planning every day. These nutcases on the left. They're planning every day a way to kill this wonderful president, and it just pisses me off. I think that Trump's done probably the best job of any president we've ever had. I mean, he's right up there with Lincoln and Reagan and other great presidents that we've had. 2 other great Republicans, and he's right up there, and if not the best ever. And they're trying to kill him over. You can tell a man is good at what he does when people are trying to kill him because of it. And I'm telling the truth. They figure there's no other way to beat him. Anyway, I just saw more lightning up there in Fuego. I wish there wasn't so much dust and particulate and humidity. I'm not sure what this cloud is that we're looking through, but there is definitely a cloud. Or a fog bank, or it could be material from the eruption itself. But we are still watching, and we should still see there's more lightning there. That looks like it's down by the hill. That lightning seems to be centered in the middle of that screen. It very well could be lightning related to the eruption. If so, this is amazing. I really wish that we had some better views. All right, I'm going to go ahead and, for right now, I'm going to go ahead and put. There is nothing going on the radar, guys. By the way, the only spot in the whole country where there's anything going on is where I've got you zoomed in right now, and that's right down on the. That's down by Nogales and Aqua. This is down Bisbee, Sierra Vista. This is right south of Tucson there. And so you can see where we're at. This is southern Arizona, right on the corner down here with a little bit with Texas here, or New Mexico. I'm sorry, it's between Arizona and New Mexico. That's really the only thing we got going on right now. It's pretty quiet. And I got no storm chasers. I got one camera that I think is just a still camera. Yep, and that's showing something from earlier. That's it. There's nothing really out there to see. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to kill this, and I'm going to bring this up. I really wish we had a better view of this. I'm going to go looking for more views. Oh, damn. I'm going to look around and see what I can find, because this is really cool and it's in progress. All right, I took that upper left one and I made it the bigger screen. Now let me see if I can find anything else. Nope, that's it. There's only 2 cameras that come out of there, and we've got them both up right now. Unfortunately, this is the problem. When something big happens, a lot of times it takes out the cameras, it takes out the power, it takes out the internet, or it just obscures the lens in this case. Apparently there was some unrest in Madison, Wisconsin earlier. Apparently the police moved in and removed an encampment that had been placed in the middle of the road. And that has caused some unrest there. So much unrest that I can't find anybody that's broadcasting anything. So I don't think there's anything actually going on there right now. But apparently earlier there was. Okay, here we go. Looks like... Portland Andy just went live with a multi-screen, so let me get him up here. Let me get rid of this. Yeah, so there is some protesting going on there. This is from Portland Andy. All right, so upper left is protests in different places. Right above me here is Fox Raw, and then we've got 2 different views of the Fuego Volcano. All right, there we go. Well, they're stupid, Deploribus. That's the problem. They're stupid. I don't know what these people think. Yeah, and I'm going to tell you guys something. These communists that are winning, I don't know if you guys realize what's happening. I hear these communists are all happy that, look, we're getting all these commies in. Well, that's good. In some places, like in New York, they got 3 commies in. Those commies are going to get in because they're not going to win. They're not going to lose the general. However, here's the situation that's starting to unfold. We've got a number of different cases here where it's a tight race. It's going to be a tight race going into the general. And they managed to get the socialist in many of these cases. When they get the socialist involved and they get the socialist wins, and the socialist now has to go up against the Republican, it's much more of an uphill battle. And what that does, it causes the Democrats to have to spend a lot more money to compete in some of these races, and they're spending money on people they really don't like because they're communists. Many of these leftists are going along to get along. Many of them aren't much on certain things, but they go along to get along. That's kind of the whole motto of the whole thing. They may not like
of MMIWG2SLGBTQQIA+.
But they go along with it because that's what you do in the Democrat Party. You go along to get along. All right? They may not be into all the race baiting and the bullshit, but they go along to get along. They may not be for, dictators and nasty people and shit, but they go along to get along. And that's the way it's been. Yeah, Sir Richard Nasty, let me tell you, the biggest problem right now with these young people that think socialism is the answer, they're not bright. They're not bright at all. All they know is what their college professor taught them, which was a lie. And they think that this is going to help them. This whole socialism, communism thing is going to be wonderful and amazing. Free health care, free candy. I mean, they think it's going to be awesome. Free soda. And what they don't realize is the only thing that everybody ends up with in communism is they end up freezing to death, starving, waiting in bread lines. That's how it goes everywhere it's tried, and it's how it's going to go here too. Unless we stop it, which I believe we are. I believe we will. I don't think this country is going to fall to communism. I really don't. But this is going to be a spell during our history where we are going to have to deal with it. And yeah, I absolutely love hearing socialists talk about how they don't want any taxes and they don't want this and they don't want that. What gets me is they're out protesting. If we were truly socialists, they wouldn't be allowed to protest. If Donald Trump was truly a fascist, they wouldn't be allowed to protest. That's the part they don't understand. The only thing that allows them to protest is the fact that this is a representative republic that believes in freedom and has a constitution. That's what makes it special. And they use what makes us special to fight against what makes us special. It really sucks. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is volcanic lightning. I know it sucks because we can't really see what's going on, but trust me, it's there. When it blows up, you will see it. But this is 2 different views there from about the same town, but it's 2 different views. Yeah, well, even Bill Maher is leaving his party soon if this keeps up. Just like Joe Manchin, just like James Carville. There's so many people in the last week that have said if this socialism trend continues, they will not be in the Democrat Party anymore. Hey, what's up, Sanguine? Yeah, well, and there's reasons for that. There's reasons for that. Thanks, Sanguine. Yeah, there's, The people on the left are gullible. I think I hate to just call them all stupid, but they're gullible. They believe whatever they're told by people that they think they can trust. Yeah, I don't know what you did too cool, but it put like a little gift up in the corner up there. And I don't know what I'm supposed to do with that. It said you sent a UNC alert. I don't know. It's cool, whatever. It's all good. Okay. Well, that's what Donald Trump's been doing, is providing the change. That's what we're doing. We're changing from something that wasn't working into something that is working. The change is happening right now. I don't know how you're so confused. The problem we had was when we had a president that was senile and a party that was running us into the ground and making everything we do about social welfare programs. Now on the split, we got a president that's doing great. He's bringing that change that we're looking for. And so there's the change. So, I mean, that's the change, guys. The change is happening now. We got a president that's actually making many positive changes. Fixing the Smithsonian. Oh my God, I went through that all last night. It's absolutely amazing what's been going on with the Smithsonian and how screwed up that's gotten by these liberals. And that's done. We're going to fix that. That's going to all be fixed. So the change is happening right now. Jacqueline Benson wins the Michigan Democratic primary. She advances to the high stake governor's race in the general. Let's see, what else do we got going on here? Cracker Barrel in the news again because they're not bringing back those items that people want. Cracker Barrel needs to learn. They survive because they survive. It's comfort food. It's a comfortable place. People know it. You can go all around the country, and they got the same stuff hanging on the walls. People like it, and I can't figure out for the life of me why they just fired that bitch woman that ruined everything so bad. They just fired her. Oh, look at that shot. Whoa, look at that shot, guys. Center screen. Boom. I told you, even with the smoke and debris, you can still see these explosions when, oh, and more lightning. It's going to be a crazy night in Guatemala. Yep, and here's the other thing. The Senate's pissing me off right now. President Donald Trump on Tuesday urged the Senate to quickly pass this legislation making daylight savings time permanent, arguing that ending the twice yearly clock changes would improve public safety, boost the economy, and benefit America's health. Trump's push came after the House of Representatives vote 308 to 117 to pass in a bipartisan decision to pass the Sunshine Protection Act, which would allow states to observe daylight savings time year-round. Although the bill received bipartisan support in the House, it is yet to be taken up by the Senate, where its prospects remain uncertain amid skepticism from lawmakers in both parties. What is the deal? Why can these people never get anything done? They're worthless. I don't understand why they can't get anything done. For many years, the vast majority of Americans, approximately 65%, have asked to make daylight savings time permanent, but no administration has been able to get it done until now. People are sick and tired of having to change clocks twice a year. It is foolish, inconvenient, and in some cases costly. Support for the legislation has generally come from lawmakers representing coastal states, while opposition has been concentrated among lawmakers from the Midwest and the agricultural heavy states. I still don't understand that argument. I still don't understand. Well, I'm a farmer and I can't lose an hour of daylight. You idiot, it's the same day. It's just the clock looks a little different. For Christ's sake. Our kids can't practice in the dark. Really? Your field has lights. Why did we buy those lights? I'm a construction worker and I can't lose an hour of daylight. It's like, I don't think people understand the basics sometimes. I really don't. When I hear this argument, I can't lose an hour. First of all, do they think we're changing the rotation of the planet? You know, are we changing the general axis or something? What are we doing? They think we're taking away an hour of sunlight. My God. You just get up an hour later and you've got the same exact day you had before. Oh, boy. All right, let's see here. I just, again, why the Senate is dragging their feet on this, I don't know. I'm starting to think that the House and the Senate have just reached a point where nothing's ever going to get done ever again. It's basically done. We're not ever going to get anything new happen. I don't know. It's just depressing. You know, if we're not going to ever pass anything through the House and the Senate, and the president's going to do everything with executive order, then let's just call it a dictatorship and let Mamdani lead. What the hell, right? This is ridiculous. All right, anyway. We've got to get them to pass this thing. I don't know why the Senate won't pass it. Okay, that was a severe thunderstorm warning in New Mexico, and we've got another one in Arizona down there where I showed you guys earlier. Yeah, Schmuck Schumer. I'm sick of this delay bullshit. God. Airplane News, Pensacola, Florida. Yeah, I'm getting back a story from yesterday. A small plane made an emergency landing on I-10 east of Escambia County Monday morning in Florida. It happened around 9:55 a.m. near mile marker 14. According to the Escambia County Sheriff's Office, a pilot and a flight student reported mechanical issues, which forced an emergency landing on the interstate. Florida Highway Patrol says the aircraft suffered engine failure during the flight. No injuries were reported. A truck driver captured the dash cam footage. I'm trying to get that to load here. All right, I'll put this up. Stand by.
We're here on scene where a small plane made an emergency landing Monday morning here in Escambia County. It's on I-10 East. I'm just going to show you more of the scene now.
All right, I'm not going to play too much audio or I'll end up getting another copyright strike. All right, so yeah, this is it here. This is the shot. I'm going to go back and show you the very beginning. I think they'll show it again. Let's see here. It's like interviews. Here, I'll show the beginning again. Here it is right here. He went underneath that sign. Wow. Wow, dude. He missed the semi, went underneath the overheads, and landed. Wow. Look at that. There you go, guys. That's how it's done. That's how it's done in the real world right there now. Holy shit. All right, so there you go. No injuries. Any crash landing you walk away from is a good one. Oh, man. Yeah, there you go. Good thing he still had the instructor. I think that was the instructor flying. I can only assume. That was some fancy flying there, bro. That was some fancy flying. All right. Let's see what we got here. All right, quick look at Mike's weather page. He's got a funny post on here. It shows him sitting in a restaurant with what looks like a Coke in front of him, an iced Coke. And he's sitting there and he's looking bored, just totally bored. And the caption says, "Me trying to talk about weather when there's no weather to talk about." And that is where we are right now. We're in the preseason fatigue area right now, where, you know, hurricane season technically started 2 months ago. And all we've gotten is these two little wimpy ass storms. Well, the bottom line here is, guys, I just realized that one of these Fragos has audio. I'll leave that up and see if we hear anything on that. But anyway, yeah, there's just nothing because we've gone through 2 months here and all we've had is these two little teeny storms and people are like, that's it. It's going to be a shit year. Nothing's going to happen. That's it. Yep. Dead year. No, guys, we're just getting started. We're just getting started. The busy part of hurricane season starts about next week. So we're just coming into the busy 8 or 9 or 10 weeks of hurricane season, okay? And then once we get into the beginning parts of October, it'll be over with. It's It's the second half of August, September, and the first half of October. All right, so that's it. Mike's weather page. That's what I use for hurricane resources, and there is nothing to show you out there. Sea surface temperatures are still in the mid 80s all across, and in the Florida Straits about 87, 86 off of Fort Myers, and 83 off of Tampa. So the Gulf waters are getting pretty warm out there, and we've got some warmer temperatures in the Caribbean. With 86 south of Cuba, and 82 near Puerto Rico. So there is some warm water out there. So we are getting those ingredients that are necessary. All right, let's talk about space weather. Remember that rocket is hitting the moon tonight. Yes, they've already written about it several times here on spaceweather.com. The SpaceX rocket will hit the moon during the night of August 4th through 5th for observers in the Americas. A new crater will form at 11:35 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time. So that's going to be about 2:35 in the morning for us here on the East Coast. Is that right? I guess. It would be 2:35 a.m. Eastern Time on August 5th for us over here. It's 11:35 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time for people on the left coast, and it's still August 4th. If you see it, submit your images to spaceweather.com. Also tonight, going on, mark your calendars on Wednesday. This is going to be tomorrow, August 12th. The moon will pass directly in front of the sun, producing a total solar eclipse. Now, you won't be able to see this, so don't get your hopes up. It's the first total eclipse for Western Europe since 1999. The show begins in the Arctic, where the moon's cool shadow races across Siberia and Greenland en route to Iceland. Reykjavik gets nearly a minute of darkness. The main event is in Spain, where the eclipse happens at sunset. Hanging less than 10 degrees above the horizon, the eclipsed sun will be beautifully framed by mountains, trees, and urban skylines. Sunset eclipses are extra beautiful and weird. I have not seen a sunset eclipse. I've seen two full eclipses here in the United States. One I observed in southern Illinois. The last one, the one before that, went right over my cabin. Yeah, I know. We used to say that at the fire station. Don't use the Q word because it won't be the Q word anymore if you keep using the word. Yep, there's also another planetary alignments coming up as well. There's a lot of neat space weather stuff coming up here in the near future. It's going to be really cool. In Canada and the U.S., partial phases will be visible from Alaska to the Carolinas, mostly between noon and 3 p.m. local time. Alaskans will see the deepest bite with as much as 57% of their morning sun covered, 37% in Fairbanks, and 28% in Anchorage. Remember that no matter what phase it's in, it's never safe to look at the sun without protective glasses, even when it's in eclipse. The partial phases, you got to make sure. The only time is when it's completely in eclipse. You can take it. You can take a look at it. But yeah. So anyway, that's coming up, and basically the Northeast. You've got a shot at seeing something in the Northeast, from North Carolina north, and all the way up towards Maine. You'll get like 40% or something up there. But this is not a United States eclipse. This is a Euro eclipse, European eclipse. All right, so that's what that is. That's your spaceweather.com. So all kinds of neat stuff going on out there. Okay, so that's your spaceweather.com for tonight. Yeah, another squad member just got won the primary. You know, they're electing all of these far left wingers, and when they elect these far left wingers in there, it's going to be harder for them to win in the general, and that could be good news for us. Yeah, the evil Q. Yeah, no, he's talking about the word quiet. At the fire station, we used to not allow the rookies to say the word quiet or they would get in trouble. Because they'd always walk around, man, it's quiet tonight. Man, it's quiet tonight. Like, shut up, douche. I think a welder's mask, you'd have to look it up and make sure, but I believe a welder's mask would provide you with the proper amount of protection. Yeah, the solar eclipse glasses are really cheap and easy to find when there's an eclipse coming. As a matter of fact, up at my cabin, I've got about 10 sets from 2 different eclipses. Oh. All right. Oh, waffles, yeah. The pinhole camera works great, Dom. You know what I did at the fire station? We had a 65% eclipse when I was a fireman back in, I don't know, early 90s. And we had this mirror, this big mirror that came off the side of a truck. And I took that mirror and I put a piece of paper over it with a circle cut out in the middle of it. And I projected it through the window of the day room onto the wall inside the day room. And we were able to watch the entire eclipse on the wall in the day room. It was actually quite crisp and clean. And it's pretty cool. You just close your shade down to where it's still open enough that the beam can get through the window. And you've got a great little projection system there. You can do the same thing like you said with a box. You would look away from the sunlight, and the sun would shine through the little hole in the box onto the back of the box, and you would look in the box and see it. Yeah, another great way to watch it. Yeah, I don't normally cover Paris Hilton and that kind of shit, but I'm mildly interested. I love watching little bratty bitches fucking freak out. I love it. Yeah, the 3D glasses from Friday the 13th will not provide you with the protection that you need. They look like the same glasses, but they got one red eye and one blue eye. Or if it's the newer style 3D, they look like gray, like sunglasses. But no, they won't provide you with any kind of protection at all, actually. Yeah, I don't care. Yeah, let me see what I can find here. Okay, does anybody have a clean video of this? Everybody's broadcasting about it, but I don't even know who Perez Hilton is. Yeah, I wish I could. I wish I could find this live or whatever, but I don't see it.
The essence of dry.
Shut up. Ah, D Beard, yes, you are. You're in incognito. Throw some likes on there, guys. Yeah, this is some woman talking about some shit. It's sketchy, man. Everything I'm going into, it's all sketchy. Of course, God bless. I just hate this Bing and MSN. None of them work like Google. Google works the best. They're all spying on you, so who cares? Oh shit. And the one story that they've listed has been taken down. It's given me a weird 404 error, so I don't know. Everything else is a month old in here. Oh my God, a day ago he posted that he's reading the Bible, the whole thing. And now today he apparently had a knife and he was hurting himself. Yeah, and the only story that's been written on this, guys, has been removed. I can't get to it. Well, the only thing more stupid than harming yourself is going on YouTube and harming yourself. I don't, whatever. All right. All right, so yeah, I'll come back and we'll see if we can see anything on this in a little while when we get back to it. Okay, so we've had the socialists. We've had one election go the way of the socialists, and with a squad member staying on, and another one where the establishment Democrats have fought back at this point. Squad members, comeback kid, bid thwarted as establishment Dems notch a victory against socialist Wesley Bell defeated ex-representative Cori Bush for the second time in the St. Louis Center District. So in that particular case, the far leftist person didn't really get it. It was your mainstream Democrat that got it, and not your socialist. Oh God. All right, a divided federal appeals court cleared the way for Florida to enforce a Governor Ron DeSantis-backed law restricting children from certain sexually explicit live performances, including drag performances, the state argues is obscene for minors. The full U.S. Court of Appeals for the 11th Circuit ruled Tuesday, earlier today, 8-5, that Orlando restaurant Hamburger Mary's had not shown it was likely to succeed in its First and 14th Amendment challenge to Florida's Protection of Children Act. The court vacated the preliminary injunction in full and sent the case back to the U.S. District Court for the Middle District, Florida, for further proceedings. The ruling clears the way for enforcement through Hamburger Mary's could still seek additional an additional review. Florida Attorney General James Othmeyer celebrated the decision on an X post. A huge victory for our team in the 11th Circuit, he said. After 3 years of litigation, the full court affirmed the constitutionality of Florida's ban on children attending sexualized drag shows. The law makes it a misdemeanor to knowingly admit a child to an adult live performance. So there you go. Yeah, Mountain Dew time, all right. All right, for those just joining, man, we had great numbers the last few nights. Tonight we don't have quite as many, but that's all right. It's weird how it goes up and down like that. But I will tell you guys, for those that have joined us since the beginning of the show, Daddy Kitty is still here with me. He's hanging in there. After the show last night, after I told everybody I was probably going to bring him today to be put down, he, again, last night rallied. He ate. He's ate this morning, and I'm getting ready to feed him again now. He's laying over in the bed next to where I sleep. And he's fine, you know, he's not showing signs of pain. He's just laying there, and he gets up, he walks, he eats, he drinks. So as long as he's viable, I'm going to keep him. But the moment he starts to fail those other things there, I'll take him down and we'll have him put down. I'm not going to keep him for me. You know what I mean? It's not about me, it's about him. And when he has no quality of life left at all, then that's it. He's going to go down, and we're going to do it very humanely. I have him sedated before the euthanization because I don't want them to have a bad time. I like them to be peacefully asleep when it happens. A lot of people don't do that, but I pay the extra $30 or whatever, and I have the cat sedated first, and then we wait a few minutes, and then we hit them with the other one, and that way we make sure that there's no seizing, there's no last minute consciousness or any of that kind of stuff. I don't like that. So, but hopefully, you know, we'll see how it goes. We're going to keep him here until he gives me the sign. So that's where we're at. So he is hanging in there. You guys keep him in your prayers. That's that big old orange kitty, daddy kitty. You see him in all the promos and the openers and everything else. Well, here's another one here. This is Ed. Hey, Ed. You gonna say hi to everybody? Nope, he's gonna give you the backside. That's all he's giving you. All right. Hamburger Mary's. Yeah, it doesn't sound all that good, does it? Oh boy. Yeah, there's just not a whole lot going on. I've been working on an AI project for work, and it's just about done. I should have it finalized tomorrow. It's going to show graphics on the screen and stuff. It's pretty cool. Rather than my work buying something for us and paying God knows what, I just built it myself. With this new AI studio and stuff, and there's even ones out there that are more advanced than that, you don't need to worry about shit anymore. You can just build it yourself. Just make your own program. Build it yourself. Is there any audio on that shit?
Dude, you can add all the sugar you want, and you can add so much sugar, you got like sugar at the bottom of the bowl. After you drink all the milk, you get like a shot of sugar. You could add all that, and it still wouldn't beat a frosted mini wheat, brother.
Don't worry, you're safe. He will not rape you. He will not rape you. You're safe. You're okay, lady. You're okay. You're safe. I'll protect you from Trump. I'll tell you you're not fuckable, lady.
I'll probably looking at XK of 6 months.
At Jessica Cruz just super chatted.
Yeah, that's been my concern, that I can't let him outside without watching him, because he'll just walk off. When the cat realizes it's going to die, it walks away. It doesn't stay around the house. It walks away, and all the other cats don't know he's dead. They just, well, he left, he'll be back, you know. And that's kind of how cats deal with death. Ian, what is your thoughts on the water interference in several states? I don't know what you mean, the water interference. Yeah, I had a cat disappear on me because he was sick. He went off to die. 12 days later, he come wandering back, starving, all emaciated. I nursed him back to health. I got another year out of him. But yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, they'll go find a spot away from everybody else, and then they just die. That's live natural sound coming from Fuego. Yeah.
Not playing. They close the streets back on Jesus.
Free Palestine from Hamas. What?
Yeah, I wish everybody would get off the streets, but I mean, hey.
We're in Madison and Trump.
I don't think we're having any more eruptions than we normally have on this planet, to be honest with you. It doesn't seem any more than normal. Yeah, Biden tried wandering off to die a couple times, but they kept bringing him back. Yeah, the damn Easter Bunny. Uh, yeah, that's purposeful living. Yeah, I'm gonna see what I can find on that. Oh, I got it. All right, yeah, here we go. Very surprised this was not in my news feed. Cyber attacks hit 9 Michigan water systems and more than 30 in Minnesota as federal investigators probe control system tampering. Michigan has confirmed the cyber attacks affected 9 of its state's water systems, joining Minnesota, where officials reported malicious activity at more than 30 different systems days earlier. State officials in both places say the same thing about the outcome that matters most to households. The water is safe, or at least they want you to believe that. Dale George, the communications director for the Michigan Department of Environmental and the Great Lakes and Energy, said in a statement reported that the Associated Press that all systems continue to operate safely, that issues were addressed by local operators, and there are no known impacts posing a public health concern. That reassurance is worth taking at face value while also understanding its scope. No contamination's been reported. No community's been told the water is unsafe to drink. What is targeted was the digital equipment utilities use to monitor and control treatment and distribution, which is why federal investigators are treating this like an infrastructure event rather than a routine IT problem. This is not good. The advisory at the center of this, originally published earlier in July, describes ongoing Iranian-affiliated cyber activity against internet-connected operational technologies. The update added, so they're thinking it's Iran that's attacking Michigan and their water systems. This sucks. This is really messed up, guys. Really, really messed up. Attribution to the Michigan and Minnesota incidents officially has not been finalized. U.S. officials told CBS News that investigators are examining whether the activity is the work of Iranian hackers, while cautioning that the assessment could change as more technical evidence is collected. Minnesota officials have likewise said the investigators have not determined who was behind each attack. Wow, why is this not bigger news? I'm going to make sure that this goes over on my other show tomorrow. This is weird that stuff like this slips the news. You know, this is a very important news story. All right, guys, I'm going to take 5. I need to go walk and grab a drink and take a leak. And I'm going to play 5 minutes, and we'll be right back. Please don't take off. Every time I go to break, I come back and half the people are gone. I have to take a 3 or 4 minute break and walk around. It's kind of for health purposes. I got to go grab a drink and, like I said, go to the restroom. So just let me do what I got to do here, and we'll be right back. I'm gonna play a little song. It'll just be a shorter one. I'm looking for a good short one now. We'll go back towards the beginning here. All right. All right, guys. I'll be right back. This is the Sights and Sounds of Earth. My name's Ian. I'm going to take a short 4.5 minute break, and I'll be right back. Please don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Well, dawn broke early on February 28. Trump gave the word, no more waiting at the gate. U.S. and Israel, side by side in the fight, launched them strikes deep into the Iranian night. Targeting the mullahs, the press and their crew, nuking their nukes before they could brew. Tehran shaking with explosions in the air, smoke rising high, showing we mean business there. God bless America. God bless America. God bless America, land of the free and brave. With Trump at the helm, we're riding the wave, kicking ass when we must, no apologies here. Iran's regime's done, their end is near. Missiles fly back, but they won't break our steel. U.S. and Israel making the bad guys kneel. Trump's calling the shots, urging folks to rise up, overthrow the tyrants, fill freedom's cup. Trump's message rings out, your freedom's at hand. To the Iranian people, take back your land. We hit their leaders, Supreme and the rest. Joint ops with Israel, putting them to the test. They fight back wild at bases in our alley, but our defenses hold under that Middle East sky. No more hiding threats, no more playing games. Trump's bringing justice in America's name. God bless America, land of the free and brave. With Trump at the helm, we're riding the wave, kicking ass when we must, no apologies here. Iran's regime's done, their end is near. Missiles fly back, but they won't break our steel. U.S. and Israel making the bad guys kneel. From the Gulf to the skies, the world's watching now. Trump standing tall, showing them how. No endless wars, but when push comes to shove, we protect our own with strength from above. Iran's retaliation, just desperate flails, while our forces strike true, tipping the scales for peace through power. That's the American way. Trump's leading the charge, saving the day. God bless America. God bless America, land of the free and brave. Land of the free and brave. With Trump at the helm, we're riding the wave, kicking ass when we must, no apologies here. Iran's regime done, their end is near. Missiles fly back, but they won't break our steel. U.S. and Israel making the bad guys kneel. Trump's calling the shots, urging folks to rise up, overthrow the tyrants, fill freedom's cup. Yeah, Trump's America, strong and true, kicking ass for me and you. God bless the USA and Trump too.
All right, sorry about that. I am back. Hello, everybody. This is the Sights and Sounds of Earth. We're back for the second half of the show here. Let's see. You eating, Daddy? Yep, he's eating. Gave Daddy his favorite food, and he's over there just eating. He's eating and eating and eating. All right, so, what was that? What happened? I think you scared yourself. Yeah, Lambert, you know, the truth is, that we're not gaining population anymore. Within the next few years, we are reaching equilibrium right now. And within the next few years, we're actually going to be starting a decline in the entire globe's population. We're there. The overpopulation thing that they used to try to scare us with never happened. You know why it never happened? Because we became technologically advanced societies. They don't have near as many babies. That's the fact. Okay, so let's take a quick look here. Not a whole lot of news tonight. I mean, we do have a few midterm elections going on. Oh, man, I'm tired. Look at that, guys. Look at the volcano. Oh, there was just a meteor that went by. Did you see that? Holy shit. That sure looked like a meteor. Wow, that was cool. It could have been a bug or something. I mean, but I don't think so. This camera's not putting out any light. Yeah, I never populated. I never had kids, not even any illegitimate ones. Yeah, boy, that was something. I don't know what it was. Yeah, you know, I don't like to sit on here and bitch and bellyache about my aches and pains, and you know, I'm not feeling all that well, but I think a lot of that comes from what's going on with Daddy Kitty right now. It's touch and go every day, and it's just a very depressing time, and you know, I'm pretty much by myself, so I mean, I have to deal with it myself here. Could have been one of those metal orbs. It was sure bright. But yeah, I've kind of reached a point where I think I'm a little depressed this week. I'm just a little bit lethargic. I've had good days and bad days here. I'm also doing a lot at work. I've been going in early to work. Today, I went and picked Mom up. And there's something flying across left to right there now. I went and picked Mom up today and took her to lunch. We went to Buffet King, I think it's called. No, Buffet City, that's it, Buffet City. Because it always reminds me of that ad in UHF. Spatula City, Spatula City, Spatula City. Get the best spatulas in town at Spatula City. But anyway, yeah. But yeah, it's a great, you know what I like about this particular one? Is it's like a Chinese all-you-can-eat, of course, but it has at least two full steam tables of Americana. I'm talking everything from ham you can slice to roast beef to different kind, chicken, hot chicken wings, regular chicken wings, chicken nuggets, macaroni and cheese, mashed potatoes and gravy. They literally have two big, huge steam tables of Americana food. And then they've got a larger than normal selection of Chinese or South Asian food. And I'll tell you, they've got something there called Hawaiian chicken. And I had 2 plates of it today. I'm going to start clucking like a chicken here. I love that stuff, man. It's really good. So, we went there today, and then we went over to the mall, and I walked her through the entire mall. So I'm a little, just a little bit worn out from all that. And then I went to work and produced 3 hours of television and radio. And then I come home, and here we go again. Okay, yep, there you go. All right, let's see what we got here. Okay. All right, guys, and I just wanted to remind everybody that this half hour of our show is sponsored by a fairly new product here from the makers of Trump and all. Comes Trump Zempic, the weight loss medication for horrible liberals. What an amazing thing. From the makers of Trump and all, now you can treat both the fact that you're overweight and the fact that you're stupid all at the same time. That's right, Trump Zempic. There's no reason to be fat and liberal at the same time. When you have Trump Zempic, just jab this into your leg and you'll feel much better. It'll help you quit being the crazy bitch at Thanksgiving dinner and help bring resolution to your life. Try it now, Trump Zempic, from the makers of Trump and all. The King's Table Buffet. That sounds good. I love buffets. I'm a buffet freak. I love buffets. I prefer American buffets, but I also like Asian buffets. Yeah, I've had every kind of buffet. Yeah, it's... No, yeah, just like Dispatch said, I am in auxiliary control. I'm actually in my bedroom, believe it or not. It's a fairly large size room, and I'm set up in my bedroom right now. Yeah, I've got some money coming in from clients and stuff in about 2 weeks, and I'm probably going to be purchasing a mini split. Yeah, I'm on the battle bridge. That's what it is. If this is the battle bridge, we're all in trouble. But anyway, yeah, so that's all it is. I've got the regular computer in here. I've got most of all the same equipment. I even have a couple of my secondary computers in here. And it's all just set up in here because the air conditioning works in here. The shed has the windows open right now. I call it the shed. It went from being, it was a shed when I bought it. Then I dried it in and I made a ham shack, an air-conditioned ham shack out of it, and then I turned it into a television studio. But yeah, I'm probably going to put a mini split. Yep, definitely going to get a mini split to go in it. I got a big old hotel unit in it now, but I just want to get rid of that. I want to go to a mini split. Yep, so we'll get that fixed. But yeah, that's all it is. It's no big deal. The show must go on. I was running it off my Windows 11 laptop, but that Windows 11 is such a shit program. I had nothing but trouble with it. So I brought in the big computer in here, and I've got everything up on that right now. Yes, I will be back second week in October. I'll be up at the cabin second week in October, and I'm going to be probably just doing the short news shows like I was doing. Yeah. Well, yeah, I don't, I hate clothes, just so you guys know. Yeah. I do nudist stuff. I don't even like clothes. I hate clothes. But sometimes you have to wear them or you get in trouble. All right, anyway. Yeah, any buffet is a good buffet. Yeah, I like American. I'll tell you, there was some in Georgia called Good Old Country Buffet or something like that. There's one right there in Valdosta, and I think there's another one near Tifton. There's about 6 or 8 of them up in that area, and they're good, but the qualities just came down over the years. The last couple times we went, we didn't like it. It wasn't that good, so we quit going. Yeah. Has nothing to do with liberal. Every one of my nudist friends is conservative. Just so you know, not a liberal thing. Don't try to apply politics where they don't belong. It's a cross section, just like ham radio is a cross section. You know, everybody's like, "Oh, ham radio is a leftist thing," or right? No, it's not. It's literally a little bit of everybody's there. I find that to be in just about everything I do. That. There's always a mix of people there. I know that you'll find some good old Birkenstock hippies out there, too. There's nothing wrong with them. I usually get along with them, too, as long as you don't talk politics. No, okay, well, I get you. It's funny. You're kind of cool. I mean, it's funny what you said, because, yeah, I can see where people would apply politics, but yeah, not so much. Anyway. Yes, I am traveling to my cabin in North Georgia, up in the mountains, the second week in October. And during that week, I will have shorter shows that will just be just me talking about the news for about 30 or 45 minutes, and that's it. That's what I have to do. I cannot do anything else because I don't have any internet up there. All right. Liberal life, yeah. It's funny because all the reasons people say they would not like nudism is exactly why they would like it. And I know you probably don't know what I mean by that, but everybody's always like, "Oh, I can't be a nudist because I don't want to be judged by how I look like, or I'm old and my body don't look right, or whatever." That's the exact opposite of what nudism. Nudism is 100% body acceptance. It's people that are not. They don't care if people see them. It doesn't matter. That's the whole idea of it. It's not about pretty people showing off their body. It's about ugly people doing what they want to do and not worrying about it. Matter of fact, there's not that many good-looking people in nudism. It's more of a normal people thing. When in Rome, that's right. All right. All right, yep, I'm looking to see if any new news has dropped. I don't see anything. It's been a weird day. There's just not a whole lot of not a whole lot of interesting news going on today. Let me check one other thing here. Let's see. All right, tonight on Coast to Coast, they're going to be doing critical health news. They're going to discuss the ways we can use supplements along with sensible eating. You know, I have to admit, one of the things I hate about Coast to Coast is that they used to always do paranormal. It was always 100% paranormal. Now, I don't know if this is the leftists getting into it or what, but now Coast to Coast, about 40% of their programming is health and wellness. And I'm sorry, but I don't wait up all night to listen to health and wellness. I want to hear ghosts. I want to hear UFOs. I want to hear fun stories and things like that. So it really does upset me when they do this. One of the reasons I don't listen as much as I used to is because the topics are not near as interesting as they used to be. But anyway, this guy's talking about health supplements and modern medicine and all this, whatever. I would skip those 2 hours if it's me, but you might think it's interesting. Then they're going to have an author on that's going to present what he sees as evidence of ancient ET contact in the pages of the Bible. Now that interests me, showing how it connects with ancient myths and all around the world, and with today's declassified UAP files. So there you go. That's an interesting second half. So unfortunately, the first 2 hours are going to be all about health and wellness. You can get that shit anywhere. I don't know if this is something they've done because they run dry on topics. I can't believe it because the paranormal is about as wide a field as you can make it. And yet we still have to do something else. Yeah, I don't know about. I mean, I know that they do ads for the stuff that they do ads for certain things, but yeah, I don't know. Kind of sucks. Kind of sucks. Yeah, Coast was a lot better before, and it's not even a George Norrie thing because I do really like George Norrie, but I can't stand all this. Matt, it seems to me like they have it on all the time. There's 2 hours today, and when I read it last week, there was 2 hours last week as well. So it seems to me like it's all the time. I know that when I was listening to it regularly, up to about just 5 years ago, when I was listening to it regularly, it was slowly turning into about 40% health and wellness. But that's okay, as long as they're getting the audience, I guess. I hope that they don't end up screwing the show up or anything, because I know for people like me, I really don't want to. I don't need all that. I'm wanting a paranormal show. So, let me check it. You done? You didn't eat very much. You're done. You want some more? Go ahead. Go ahead. No? Okay. You did okay. I gave you a lot. You ate about half of it. Okay. Yeah, Daddy Kitty was done eating, so I went and he ate about half of it tonight, and I gave him quite a bit of his canned food that he likes. I've got some chicken soup for him in the morning. Okay, so anyway, that's what we got. But I do still like Coast to Coast. I support the show. I just wish they wouldn't do so much of all the bullshit health and wellness shows. I wish they would just stay away from all that. You can get that shit anywhere nowadays. There's nothing paranormal about it, other than it's all bullshit. Even the doctors are just guessing. Never seen so much guessing and bullshit in my life when you get into healthcare. Okay, this says a protest outside the Trump event in Los Angeles. I think that might be what he's covering. Let me see. It's hard to tell. Let me. I'm gonna go ahead and stick this up in the upper right. Kitty, what are you doing to the microphone? You know, if you say something in there, they can hear you. Why don't you yell at them like you yell at me? This is the first cat. Well, no, my Zevalin used to yell at me too. He will literally yell at me. So there you go. This is an anti-Trump protest outside the Trump event in Los Angeles, it says. Yep, and that's all there is. That's the only thing I find for protest. Let me see if anything else has come up for Fuego. Yep, you've already got the 2 views that I can find here. Nope, that's what there is there. Okay. Yep, I don't know, guys. I don't see much else going on. Does anybody have anything? I'm going to open up the chat room. If anybody has anything you want me to discuss real quick, throw it in there. I can't believe that, Matt. I think it's more like somebody said earlier, laziness. Look, a show is only as good as the effort you put into it. And they've got a fairly big staff for a radio show. I don't know. Yeah, isn't that crazy? Again, when they have a riot, when they have a protest in the UK, 50,000 people show up. When they have a protest in Pakistan, 50,000 people show up. When they have a protest in Iran, 50,000 people show up, and 2,600 of them get gunned down. But when we have a protest here, look at this. There's like 25, maybe 50 people out there. How many people do you see out there at this protest? Maybe 50 people? And what that shows me is there's just not that many people that are that upset, I guess. Well, and that's why I do welcome other opinions. I do debate hard, but I do welcome other opinions. What do I think about Starlink? I think it's fine. Amy Comey, I don't know. I don't have an opinion there, but I will say about Starlink. I think Starlink's great. It's creating a situation where you can't even look into the night sky without seeing stuff. Astronomers having a hard time doing extended exposure shots and stuff like that, but you can't stop progress. You can't stop progress. You just have to let it go. It is what it is. I think Starlink's great. I think Starlink is going to bring the rest of the world onto the internet. We're extending Al Gore's internet all over the world. And now anybody can contact Al Gore. Okay, yeah, here's the thing. All you have to, well, yeah, we're dealing with space junk is going to be a real issue in the future. And yeah, that goes without saying. But the cost and security of Starlink, that's going down. The very first generation of Starlink was $500 a month, then $300 a month, $100 a month. I think you can get it now for like $100 a month. It's coming down. The equipment's getting better. It's getting smaller, and it's getting cheaper. So as things happen and things get cheaper, more and more people can come on board and can get involved with it, can get internet through it. I think it's a good thing. Yeah, you're talking the Tesla Tower. You're probably talking about the Wardenclyffe Tower, 1901 to 1917, also known as the Tesla Tower, was an early experimental wireless transmission station designed and built by scientist Nikola Tesla on Long Island, located in the village of Shoreham, New York. Interesting. Yeah, he would. He felt that we should be able to charge certain layers of the atmosphere with electricity, and then go 1,000 miles downrange and put a tower back up into that same layer and extract that energy. This would have been great because we could have generated energy in 1 or 2 or 3 locations around the world. And places where we have the ability to create lots of electricity and then move it around to wherever we want to. I personally don't know that this is possible. Remember, all this time and all this money he spent on this, but it wasn't to make something he knew would work. He was testing it. Had a lot to do with a lot of things. This was 125 years ago, guys. Incredible. Isn't that funny, Matt? You know, they fought that USAID so bad, and of course PBS funding and all of the public broadcasting. Yeah, I'm sure it's just a coincidence. Yeah, I'm sure it's not. Okay, yeah, I think he was testing and experimenting with something that nobody knew if it would work or not. And I don't think that in 1901 or in 2026, I had to remember what year it was. I still don't think we have the technology to do what he was trying to do there. Nor do I think we should try. I don't believe that charging the ionosphere with artificial energy is a good idea. What if we do something to screw up the ionosphere, and next thing you know, protons rain down on us from the sun? I don't know if it's a good idea. And we still haven't really improved the gas engine. I disagree. I would have to disagree with that. The advancements made on the internal combustion motor over the years have been fantastic. We can now get 3 or 4 times the horsepower with half the space and half the fuel. If you look at And it's not just the internal combustion engine that's improved, but building cars lighter and easier and cheaper, and also building better transmissions and better energy distribution systems and things like that. The car has come a long way over the years, and the engines run much more efficient than they used to. What used to boil out crap in the 70s and 80s has now become very clean running engines with catalytic converters and engines that are tuned every second by a computer to run the best possible. Yes, Elon Musk is definitely the Nikola Tesla of our generation. He may even be the same guy reincarnated. The Model T was not cheap. Yeah, I mean, well, yeah, when cars first came out, when cars first came out, just like anything else, they were very expensive. 100-inch televisions are available now for $1,200. 100-inch. That's the size of the Enterprise View screen, if anybody was wondering. 100-inch television. I know because they built the bridge to spec, and when it was time to put a TV in, the 100-inch TV fit perfectly. And so there you go. Right now, you can buy a 32-inch smart TV for $70. You can buy it used for $10 at Habitat for Humanity. So television has never been cheaper per inch than it is right now. My parents took out a loan that took them 3 years to pay off to buy our Quasar, and then they took out another loan 5 or 6 or 7 years later to buy our Sylvania. Televisions for a 19-inch TV in adjusted dollars, you were spending $3,000. I mean, it's in adjusted dollars, and today you're getting a 19-inch TV is considered very small. Matter of fact, anything under a 32, the price goes back up. You want to know why? Because 32-inch TV is the smallest TV that has regular purchases. I mean, no one really buys one smaller than a 32 now. And so if you want a 26-inch TV, they have them. They actually cost $20 more than the 32. But TVs have never been cheaper than they are today. And Ted's got a point there too. Not only is the internal combustion motor improved over the years, but you're correct. I think our refining process and our fuel that we're using, it's also improved. Yeah, I mean, and Sir Richard, that TV probably cost you guys a bunch of money. I went to Curtis Mathis. This was many years ago. I went to Curtis Mathis with a bunch of guys from the fire department. We were off duty one day, and we went down to watch something at the beach. I can't remember, and we're on the way back. And one of the guys goes, "Hey, let's stop at it was at Curtis Mathis or Sound Advice, I forget. Let's pull in there, and let's take a look at they got the new plasma screen." And I'm like, "What's that?" And they're like, "Well, it's a TV that it works on millions of plasma cells and this and that." I'm like, "Well, that's really cool." So we pulled in there and we went in, and they had a 32-inch model sitting there, and it was $16,000. They had a 36-inch, or no, 42. It was like a 44-inch or something. The next bigger one up was the only two sizes they had, 32 and 44, I think it was. And that one was $20,000. It was incredible. Now, just about 4 years later, my parents bought one of those for a fraction of what it was. I remember that plasma screen. Boy, it used to boil out some heat, but man, it made a beautiful picture. To this day, I don't think there's a better TV to watch a movie on than a plasma screen, because the blacks are truly black. It's really cool. Crazy money. Now today, you could have the tour bus lined with televisions, and it wouldn't cost that much. That's like me with my studio out there. I got all those TVs out there. They're all hooked up to a bunch of different computers and shit, and I'm buying those TVs for between $10 and $20 a piece at Habitat for Humanity. Oh, hey, Victor. Okay, there you go. I don't, I've never seen that or know anything about it, but that sounds like fun. Oh, there you go. There you go. Yeah. If he was in it back then, I bet you he'll remember the plasma screens when they first came out. What a crazy thing that was. But yeah, so yep. So the neat thing about all of that is how far along we've come over the years with all this stuff. And I do believe the future of cars was hydrogen power, and we missed it because the government's too afraid of it. Matt, I would love to use non-ethanol gas. I can buy it right up the road here, but it's 75 cents more a gallon. You know why it's 75 cents more a gallon? Because ethanol is government subsidized. And so when you buy ethanol, the government actually pays for about half of the ethanol that's in it. So in other words, if it's 15% ethanol, that means the government's paying for about 8% of what's going into your tank. It's government subsidized. Why would ethanol be government subsidized? Because it's a failure. It's a complete and utter failure. Just like the COVID vaccines, just like so many other things that the government bought into, lock, stock, and barrel. It's complete crap. Ethanol is complete crap. It's just like the COVID vaccine or whatever else. The government comes up with it, we all buy it, and guess what? It doesn't work. Why, 15 years later, is the federal government still subsidizing 50% of what it costs to make a gallon of ethanol? Why? Because it doesn't work. Ethanol is only 75 to 80% as efficient as gasoline, which means when you add 15% ethanol to your gasoline, you actually reduce its potency. You reduce the horsepower that liquid can now provide. Number two, every time you buy ethanol, our tax money is subsidizing the fact that the ethanol is a waste. It's a waste of money. The third thing, ethanol, it ruins your motor. It's not good on your motor. It's not good on your fuel system. And if you accidentally put the E85 in there, I doubt your car will even run on it. So, yeah, ethanol is another huge government failure. I'm kind of surprised it hasn't gone away. Because it needs to. Ethanol will eventually go away. Why are we taking farmland and tractors and farmers and workers and all these people and all this equipment and all this money to make something that's not food, to make something that we cannot eat, and to make something that's so inefficient that the government has to subsidize it by nearly 50% to make it to where people can buy it or want to use it. And then finally, something that when it goes into your tank, it reduces your gas mileage. Yeah, if you get non-ethanol gas, you will get better gas mileage. It's true. Why? Because ethanol is not near as efficient as gasoline. When you make fuel oil out of corn, it's not as potent. It's not as strong. And here's the last thing that people don't understand about ethanol. It takes more diesel fuel and electricity to make ethanol than the ethanol can produce. I want you to think about that. Between the tractor that has to lay it, the tractor that has to till it, the tractor that has to cut it, the tractor that has to move it, the trucks that have to move it, the refineries that have to refine it and make it into a liquid and then refine it into something strong enough to use as gasoline. By the time we refine this shit and we get it ready to go in your gas tank, they've spent more energy getting that gallon of energy ready for you to use as energy than the gallon can actually produce. It's a complete loser. Like everything else the government did. They did it. It never got any better. It never got any better. It does. If you got an older car with a carburetor, it completely screws up your carburetor. It's also not good on injector systems. It's not good on fuel pumps and fuel systems. Yeah, it's not good. Yeah, I mean, whoever thought of making fuel oil out of corn? It's a terribly inefficient process. Terribly inefficient. This is liberal feel-good bullshit. This is like 15 years ago, liberal feel-good bullshit, okay? Ethanol never should have happened. It never should have happened. But it happened because the left had to do something. They had to do something they could feel good about. And so every time they need to do something to feel good about, they end up doing something that eventually is not good at all for anybody. Yep. Battery-powered trucks, the reason they haven't took off in this country, battery technology is just not there yet. We can't store enough power per square inch to make it worthwhile. Yeah, if you use a non-ethanol high grade, that's what I was originally when you said that. A non-ethanol is the best because that's the reason I'm talking about ethanol is because I'm letting people know that ethanol is extremely inefficient and that you'll probably get better gas mileage buying your non-ethanol. I have it up the street. Sometimes I buy it, sometimes I don't. A lot of times I just get the regular gas because it is a lot cheaper. Kitty, what are you doing? You're really in the way, you know? That's okay, though. Well, that's interesting. A slate truck. Never heard of it. It's almost like a build-your-own truck type thing. Yeah, it's slate.auto if you guys want to look it up. Slate.auto. It's a nice looking little vehicle. I like it. Who makes it? Wow. This website says a lot, and it really doesn't say much at all. I even clicked About Us, and I don't know anything more about them than I did. I have no idea. Interesting, though. I assume this is a company that hasn't made anything yet. This is new. I don't know. I've never heard of Slate. You would think they would explain a little better what the hell they are. But this is all AI generated horse shit. Says it's being manufactured here. That's cool. It's a two-door electric pickup truck that's thoughtfully designed and engineered to be customized. And you can buy all kinds of accessories and recustomize it on the fly. You can even have it delivered the way you want. The blank slate basic truck is $25,000. There's a $1,500 destination charge. The Slate truck has a projected battery range of 205 miles. That sucks. 205 miles. I don't know. I just filled my car up completely. I just topped it off as much as it would take. And my dashboard says I get 405 miles. I mean, that just... I can't get around this with an electric vehicle. I drive to my cabin. It's 700 miles. I drive in my car. I can drive all the way to Tifton, Georgia. I can almost make Macon almost on one tank of gas. And then I get off, I fill my tank, I drive on in, and I still have half a tank for while I'm driving around up there. I couldn't imagine going on the trip I go on with an electric car, especially one that only gets 200 miles. I mean, it's just crazy. Let's see. Yes, it says you can charge it on a regular outlet, 110, also a 220 dryer plug, also a Tesla charger. It is true that they believe that most dinosaurs are avian based. That's true. For years, they thought they were reptilian-based because of the way their heads are shaped and stuff, but no, it turns out not so much. All right, so let's see what else we got going on here. That's interesting about those Slate trucks, though. They sure are cool little-looking trucks. Oh, boy. All right, let's see what we got here. Sorry, guys, it's a slow news night. I don't know what to tell you. All right, I don't see anything new coming in. It looks like Stevens in Michigan. It looks like Stevens is going to hold out over El Said. So that's pretty good. That means that the woman that talks like a second grade teacher actually won over the socialist commie. Remember, Democrat primaries, you're picking who you want to go up against. Yeah, Jurassic chickens. Yeah, I mean, I would want to know more about those slate trucks. Who's building them? I mean, do you want the first model year of any vehicle? I know I don't. Let me tell you a little story. And I'm not shitting on these people. They probably make good stuff. Okay, don't take this as me shitting on Slate, because I'm not. But I don't ever buy the first couple model years, and because it takes them a while to work out all the problems, and it takes. Yeah, I drive a Hyundai Sonata, an older one. I like it. It's my second Hyundai Sonata, and it probably won't be my last. Once you find something that works, you keep it. Yeah, I don't hate the NFL. I just don't watch it no more because it's all bullshit. It's all fake. The officiating is fake. They choose who gets in the playoffs every year. It's disgusting. Yeah, there's some weird stuff going on with this mountain right now. Fuego. But yeah, it's not that I even hate the NFL or the players or the managers I know that the NFL is bullshit. Oh, there it goes. Boom! Yes! Yes! Wow, that was a good one. That was a good one. The other thing I wanted to mention, this Guthrie case, this sheriff involved in this Guthrie case, I got to tell you guys, I'm very disappointed in this freaking guy. Okay, this comes from I'm a former cop. You guys know I was a deputy auxiliary for about 8 years. I was sworn and certified, and while I was a full-time firefighter, so I've got some experience in both law enforcement, fire, EMS, and emergency management. And I just got to tell you, I think this guy has an ego problem. When Guthrie turned up missing, he acted very strange. He would not use the FBI, the FBI's investigative resources. He actually went out on his own and used some private lab down here in Florida, and the whole thing was really strange. And now it's kind of slowly coming to light that they botched this entire investigation. They botched this entire investigation. And yeah, it's going to be a mess. I mean, I think I would sue. I would get on that right away. Yeah, she's buried in the desert. She was killed probably within 24 hours of her kidnapping, if not killed in the kidnapping. Hip Hangalangalier. Yeah, if they need the votes, they'll show up. Trust me. That's how the left does it. The left has been faking elections for 100 years. This sheriff that completely dropped the ball, Okay? He completely dropped the ball on that whole case. Well, his department's been in a lot of trouble. They've been in a lot of trouble. They've had lawsuits recently settled. They messed with a bunch of First Amendment guys, and it's been kind of a mess. And so what's going on is there's a new one now. An Arizona man who says a swatting call ended with deputies' bullets, leaving him partially paralyzed. Now demanding $176 million from the Pima County Sheriff's Department. And he deserves it. He was an innocent man. They barged in his house and they shot him. He almost died. They never had a reason to shoot him. They didn't have a reason to be in his house. Carmen Melendez recently filed notice of claim against the Pima County Sheriff's Office to Sheriff Chris Nanos, signaling their intent to sue, according to the Arizona Public Media. The attorney who is representing Melendez told the outlet that the man and his mother were swatted, prompting a massive law enforcement response to their house. Swatting is a criminal prank where individuals place fake 911 calls for a specific location with the goal of getting law enforcement response to that location and then getting them to do what they've been doing so often lately, and that's overreact. Our justice system recognizes the dignity of a human life and the importance of the completeness of your body. Axel's health, his independence, his ability to earn a living, his sense of security, all stolen away from him by a policeman's bullet. Someone impersonating Melendez initially called 311, the non-emergency number, on April 10th, and said the father was shot. The father shot his sister, giving the address for Melendez. During the morning of April 10th, the call had many red flags and hallmarks of it being a fake call, including the call came to 311. Nobody reporting an emergency calls 311. Says said the call was made from out-of-state area code and added that the caller didn't pronounce Melendez's first name correctly. So this should have been caught right away. Melendez received a threatening message from the hacker who stole his personal information during an online video game and demanded a ransom to return his accounts and passwords. His attorney said, even threatening to report him to U.S. Immigration and Customs because of his Hispanic name. After the threat, Melendez called 911 and shared his concerns about a possible swatting incident and was allegedly assured that there are safeguards in place to prevent such swatting calls. He tells the 911 operator all of this, and she essentially downplays it and says, "Don't worry, it's not how it works. They just can't call 911 and have the SWAT team show up at your house." According to the attorney, Pima County deputies allegedly ignored a warning that Melendez's address was a known possible swatting target, stating that she approached the home with the mindset to treat it like it was real. So in other words, they knew it was fake. They knew it was a fake swatting call. They sent the cops out there anyway. He needs to win this lawsuit, and this sheriff needs to go. Believing an intruder was breaking in, Melendez grabbed his family's legally owned handgun and took cover behind the bedroom door as deputies smashed through the window, according to the claim. The deputies then opened fire. Melendez says he was hit in the right thigh and left shoulder, which left him with a spinal cord injury in addition to broken ribs and a broken leg. He did everything we teach our kids to do. When you're in danger, when somebody's threatening you, the first thing we tell our children to do, call the police. Axel is a vulnerable young man. His life has been upended. He has real present needs, and we're giving them an opportunity to do the right thing and resolve the case. But the ball is wholly in their court, and that's where it stands tonight. The Pima County Sheriff does not want to pay up. You guys knew it was a fake call. He called you and told you someone was swatting him. Then when they swatted him, it was full of red flags. including that he had already called and told you that they were going to SWAT him. And they drove out there anyway, kicked down his door, and shot him. Okay, so anyway, that's what we got there. This sheriff is trouble. Got a lot of pending lawsuits. He's got a lot of settled lawsuits. He completely botched the Guthrie case, and now we've got another one here that's a big mess that they're trying to get out of their responsibility for. You know, this case the other day where a guy starts shooting up a Jack in the Box or an In-N-Out or whatever the hell it was. He starts shooting it up, and a bystander and an off-duty trooper both start returning fire. And he runs off, and then he goes and kills himself. That's great. But those two guys put their lives at risk doing that. Not from the bad guy, from the cops. I hate to say it. I don't even carry a gun anymore. I legally can carry one everywhere I go. But I don't. Because the first sign of trouble, all you're going to see is assholes, elbows, and taillights because I'm driving away. I'm not getting involved in shootouts because the moment you do the right thing, the cops are going to show up and kill you. I can't tell you how many good Samaritans have been gunned down by police in the last few years. It's more than anyone wants to admit. So that's why I tell people, the best way to get involved is call the police as you're driving away. I don't bring a gun because I don't want to get involved in a gunfight. Because if I survive the gunfight with the bad guy, I'm not even being paid. I'm not working for the government. I'm not working for anybody. And this community didn't give a shit about me. And I'm going to grab my gun out of my car or off my hip and go and interject myself into a deadly situation? No, I'm not. You're more likely, when you are a good Samaritan and you take action with your pistol, you are more likely to be shot by responding officers than the bad guy. That's why the best thing you can do is just leave your gun at home and don't drive anywhere that you shouldn't be. Just drive to work, drive home, do what you got to do. You know, if you go out during the day like most normal people and you go to most normal places, you'll never need a gun. Now, do I believe in the First Amendment and the Second Amendment? Hell yes. Hell yes. We have open carry down here. I can strap my 9 right on my hip. I can walk right down the street with that bitch. Do I? No. No, I don't. Because a cop will shoot me as soon as he sees me carrying my gun. These Second Amendment activists, I've watched videos just in the last month of 2 or 3 of these guys almost getting killed. Cops have become way too nervous around guns. Yeah, I agree. If you got to carry a gun all the time, you need to move out of that blue state, out of that blue city. I mean, if you live down here, you don't need a gun. I think that's another thing people don't realize. Oh, I live in a bad town. Well, move. If you live in a blue city or a blue state, a blue urban area that's run by Democrats or socialists, yeah, the crime rate's going to be through the roof. Do you know that in blue states, you are more likely to be shot and killed than in red states? You can actually see the data. You know, we went from concealed only, and we went from concealed only with a permit. And in one day, they changed the law just like that, and everyone's allowed to carry on their hip. Everyone's allowed to carry concealed. You no longer need a concealed weapon permit. And you want to know what? The crime rate went down. Crime rate went down. It had a positive effect on the crime rate. Oh, I like J.D. Vance. I'm a big Vance fan. I like him. I like him. I'm sorry that you get bad vibes like that. That's true, Pangolier. You're exactly correct. Yes, and so as much as I'm pro police and I'm pro law enforcement, we've got to train better. We've got to do better. We've got to act better. Sometimes the cops are. Sometimes they're faced with a no-win situation too. Look, I'm not down on cops. I'm down on bad cops. I've always said that. I was a cop. I'm a constitutionalist. So I'm really only down on bad cops. Yes, I agree. Cops responding, there's two people shooting. In almost every situation, they had the information they needed to make a good decision, but they didn't do it. I don't know. It is one of those things. That's why I told you guys, if you use your gun or have your gun out, the moment they come around the corner, you need to put that gun on the ground and back away with your hands up. Because you're a bad guy too until they get it all sorted out. Yeah. Yeah, in many cases they do have the info, and in many cases they don't have the info. Sometimes they misread the situation. Sometimes it's a no-win situation. Sometimes they're faced with facts that they have to act on, and then they act poorly. It's unfortunate. Like I said, I side with the cops many times. I watch the video, and I'm like, nope, that's a justified shoot. Yep, if you put that gun down as they're pulling in, if you put the gun down and put your hands up and back away from the gun, that is a clear sign that, that you're not involved. And then the entire time, you need to be enunciating. I'm the good guy, good Samaritan here. I stopped this. The man with the gun's over there. The knife is over there. I'm the good guy, good Samaritan. Please don't shoot me. You got to keep enunciating the entire time that you're the good guy. Please don't do this. You do not need to slam me on the ground and handcuff me, although that will probably happen. Like I said, I'm in the middle on this one. It's a bad situation the cops are put in. So I choose not to bring my gun and put the cops in that situation. You won't have to worry about me on the scene with a gun, because I won't have a gun and I won't be on the scene. So there you go. I don't mean to sound like a coward. Guys, I crawled into burning buildings for a living. All right? I ran towards the gunfire for many years. But not anymore. Yeah, I like Rubio and Vance. I think that would be an amazing ticket. I'd love to see that ticket. No, I don't think we need RoboCop. No, I don't think so. I think being over aggressive and dressing like SWAT guys and army men is part of the problem right now. We need to get cops back in uniforms, and we need to get them back to where they treat the public with respect. We need to get them out of these battle fatigues. We need to get them out of these big vests with all the stupid shit hanging on it. We need to get them back in uniforms. We need to get them back to where they look like community policemen again. And we need to get them to where they treat us with respect. They talk to everybody like shit now. And then we'll give them the respect they deserve, because they deserve it. When they're doing the right thing, they deserve our respect, and we need them. Let's see here. Boy, guys, the numbers have been really bad tonight. It's weird how one night I'll run really high, and the next one, like last night, we were getting twice the concurrence we are tonight. I don't know what the difference is. Is there some big thing going on tonight that somebody's watching or something? Ed, what's wrong, buddy? Eddie, what's wrong? What are you doing? Why are you acting weird? Yes, we agree on that. I want the best cops we can get. I want reform. We need the cops. We need ICE. We need federal, state, and local officers. We need county. We need city. I agree with this. We need it all. But you're correct. We need reforms, because now cops no longer speak to us like we're human beings. They refer to us as subjects, subjects of the king. Why do you think cops call you a subject? You're either a subject or a suspect. You know, when they come out there, they don't refer to you as a person or a complainant or a bystander. You are a subject. And that's the beginning of the problem right there. I had that rude ass cop down at the parade. Remember that? That bitch, she purposely put her lights right in my face. She purposely put her lights right in my face. And when I walked over and said, "Excuse me, ma'am, I'm on a live broadcast over there, and you just moved your car and put all of your high beam headlights, your spotlight, and your takedown lights right in my cameras and right in my face." I said, "Could you?" And I was nice. I said, "Could you please just move your car about 15 degrees in one direction or the other, or just turn off the white lights? The blue and the red's fine. Just turn off the white lights." She rolled her eyes and said no and rolled her window up. So I called her supervisor. I demanded a supervisor on scene. And when the supervisor got there, right on the show, you guys can go back and watch it, I tell him, I said, "You know, it's people like that cop right there that earn you guys all this hate." I said, "She was a bitch to me. She earns you the hate. I'm the public. I'm doing a broadcast. I've been set up here for 3 hours. And right as the parade starts, she moves her car about 7 different times so she can get her lights right in my face." And I know she did it on purpose, because she was laughing about it. She thought it was funny. She went over and was joking around with her 2 other male counterparts about how funny it was that she's screwing up the idiot's broadcast over there. Well, I got the last word, because the supervisor came out, and I kind of told him off and told him, you know, that she's earning the hate for you guys right there. Yeah. So it is what, yeah, I think I did. I mean, you know, I didn't yell or cuss. I didn't give any of that. I just told him, she's earning the hate for you guys right now. You know, everybody that's watching my broadcast is like, "What's wrong with that bitch? She just put her lights right into the broadcast." So that's how you have to handle it. Cops have gotten to the point where they're not on our team. That blue line gang thing they got, that you're not on their team. Don't ever think for a minute that you're on their team, because you're not. You're actually the bad guy. Everybody's the bad guy. You know, we used to joke around when we were cops. They would say, "Hey, there's 2 kinds of people. There's liars and there's cops." And that's the kind of mentality that we're dealing with right now in law enforcement. You know, people say, "What about RoboCop? What about when AI is policing us and things like that?" You know what? Just like I always say with our food, you know, people say, do you really want AI running McDonald's? Yes. Yes, I do.